Hello, everybody. It's great to be here one more time today. My name is Gary Fowler. I'm CEO, President, Founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. Today on GSD Presents Top Global Stars, I've got Marcus Flakes, where we're going to be talking about the visionary, the founder, and the innovator that's taken his company and ideas to be able to shape humanity. It's somebody, he's tackling one of the biggest problems, hidden problems in modern life, and that is the household complexity. We live in a world overflowing with apps and notifications, subscriptions, calendars, meal planning, budgeting tools, and endless decisions. I call it infobesity. Yet, despite all the technology surrounding us, most households still operate manually, reactively, and inefficiently. What if the home itself became intelligent? What if there was a living, true operating system for everyday life? So joining me today is Marcus Flakes, the category founder and CEO of PantriApp, the company pioneering what they would call the first household operating system. It's powered by what he calls Household Intelligence Technology, or HIT. He's got an incredibly interesting multidisciplinary background from public health, culinary operations, logistics, cloud kitchens, technology systems. Before PantriApp, he developed deep operational expertise in food service, delivery infrastructure, and consumer behavior through entrepreneurships and large-scale logistics platforms. Now he's focused on building something much better, building intelligent infrastructure that reduces household decision overlap and helps people execute everyday life more effectively. This is a conversation about the future intersection of AI, automation, behavioral systems, logistics, family lives, commerce, and human cognition itself. We're going to explore what happens when the household becomes a data platform, how intelligent systems may eventually manage large portions of daily life, and why Marcus believes the home is one of the next steps and great frontiers that needs to be developed. And with that, I'd like to bring him on board. Hi, Marcus.
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic. So most founders, first of all, how in the world were you a chef, or what did you do?
Yes, I was a chef. I was a chef in the military. I think it really started there. I was a culinary specialist. That's one of our military occupational specialties. For those people that's been in the military, they know what I'm talking about. In short, it's an MOS. But yeah, I cooked in the military and even cut hair. So I think I started cutting hair first.
Cooking and cutting at the same time.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, in the military, you have a lot of you have a lot of duties, but the main duty was cooking, and I fell in love with that. Not because it was easy.
But I had the main duty is cooking. But how did you become a barber too?
Well, I started out as a barber because, long story short, I used to cut hair in high school, and I was really good at it.
Really?
And so, yeah, I was on the football team and on the track team, and I would cut a lot of people's hair. They would come to the house. It got so bad that my grandmother would tell me, I'm gonna have to start charging you electric bills around here. She wanted a piece of the pie. But that was the
And did you
first.
did you have like the put the talcum on their neck and everything else with the little
Oh
thing?
yeah, I had the powder and I would dust them off, make them feel like they're at the barbershop, and I would charge only $5.
Really?
$5 back then. $50 today.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So how far are you booking appointments out?
I really didn't have an appointment system. I mean, they just kind of say, "Hey, I'm coming to the house tonight. Get a haircut." And I'd be like, "Okay, I'll be there."
That was great. You must have had a lot of spending money when you were in school, right?
Oh man, I had plenty of spending money. Between a job, working at Subway, and doing that, yeah, I was never broke. Never broke.
Great. Well, you're an entrepreneur. So
yeah, by heart.
So most founders chase massive markets, but very few decide to create an entirely new category. What made you believe that household itself was the next major operating environment after mobile and cloud?
Well, To be honest with you, it really didn't hit me. I've always wanted to like enter the technology, market, but I felt like it was so many ideas that were popping around even before AI. People were coming up with all these amazing ideas, and I really couldn't figure out, outside of just having a restaurant, what could I do in terms of tech. It happened in the beginning of 2025. I lost my job. I was working for CDC. And when that happened, that gave me tons of time to think.
What is CVC?
Oh, I'm sorry, CDC, the Centers for Disease Control.
CDC. Wow.
Yes.
You weren't cooking there, were you?
I was not a cook in there. It was occupational safety and health. That was my job.
Wow.
Wow. Yes. But look here, Gary, it hit me that I started thinking about all the things I didn't like about what needed to be done in the house. That's how it began. And then my mom and her husband, their health was declining, and so I find myself going over there helping to meal prep, putting those culinary skills to work. And I was like, man, that's got to be a better way. And I'd go home, and me and my wife would look at each other, and she's a chef as well. And we would ask each other, what's for dinner? Now, why are two chefs asking each other what's for dinner?
Right.
I mean, we were tired, man. We're tired. She works a full day, and I work a full day. At that point, I was full time doing whatever I was doing.
Just say Popeyes.
We watch what we eat in this house.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure. But that's where the idea was born. I started asking myself questions. And I got really curious. I started surveying other people, like, hey, what do you think about this? What is your pain point? And that's the main question I ask of everybody today. What is it that makes you say life is hard?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to think that life is hard because someone else is making it hard. You know what I mean? Let's erase jobs and friendships. Let's get that out of the way. What is making you so unhappy?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that's unhappy, but they're not going to sit here and tell you I'm unhappy. That's not. Everybody goes online to show you a side of their life that is admirable. Let's just be honest. They're posting great things. They're not posting bad things. So is the problem being addressed? Is the biggest question. And it starts with decision fatigue, being able to prepare meals consistently over and over and over again, because this has to be done every day, not just on a Friday. Okay. Who's washing your laundry? Is that something that you enjoy doing? I mean, it does take a lot of time. I'll tell you how far I get before it hurts me.
You enjoy doing laundry. I'll be honest with you.
Oh no, I hate laundry.
I love doing my laundry because I like County unstoppable stuff. I put an extra half a capful in there, and it smells. Oh man, it smells so good. I really like doing it.
Okay, but it sounds like you really like. It sounds like you really like just the process of doing it. It's the labor behind it. Here's how far I get before it bothers me. I put it in the washer. That's fine. I'll get on the computer, go do something else while it's washing. That's not a problem for me. Then I'll put it in the dryer. That's not a problem either. After that, there's loads and loads of clothing that needs to be folded, that needs to be hung up. It's just horrible. It needs to be put in drawers, and that's the time.
What we do is you get an optimist and you're all set. You have that in your system. That's part of the deal.
That's right. So this is not about being lazy. It's really about the consistency. Things need to be taken care of on a daily basis.
Now, how do you do that with your wife? How do you do division of labor? Like, who does the folding?
So she'll do folding, I'll do washing, and sometimes I'll do washing and she'll do folding. I mean, we just kind of alternate between each other. But it's a load, man, because I'll be honest with you, I don't wash clothes every day. So there's always a lot to do. I might wait a week and a half. We don't go to the laundromat. That's too much time.
Huh? When you start wearing the same socks over again, you got a problem, Houston.
That's exactly right.
Or you get that shirt and you smell it in those pits and say, how does this smell, right?
Right. And you might be naming some habits of people that do things like
this. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you go down through life, and there's responsibility, but that's great. So you're basically dividing the labor up. And how do you do that?
So it's what I had to do is approach it from a intervention and preventive standpoint. That's how I had to. Something this big and something this relevant to our lives, it's not a guess. It has to be evidence-based. You have to understand what goes on with humans outside of the home and then inside of the home. So there was a lot of research that I had to do in order to peel back exactly what the problems were. And we really think of this as time freedom. So inside of the tech world, it's not just tools, Gary. It's not just tools. We already have tools. We have many of those. And that's part of the problem. We have fragmentation in the marketplace. Everybody says that, hey, you can do meal planning here, meal prep here. You can look up a recipe here. And then so at the end of the day, you have about 5 different apps to do 5 different things.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I got so many apps on my phone, I can't even remember where it's at. I have to go and do a search.
The problem is we got infobesity, and the other problem is those apps become updated and something else comes out it's better, right? And you're still paying a subscription for something you don't use.
Yep. Now we can't.
They're like buried in the some place, and I had an ancestor. I used it in the beginning when I got the DNA, and after a while, there was only back to like the 1600s. I said, this is far enough.
Yeah, exactly. So we like to think of ourselves as a prevention platform because we really are addressing a true problem and not just another variety of things you can do that seem really cool for today. PantriApp was designed under a intelligence layer, which I call HIT, Household Intelligence Tech. And that layer sits up underneath PantriApp, and it works quietly, very quietly in the background. And a user will go in and realize, wow, I didn't have to scale these ingredients. It's already done. So we have what we call snapshot architecture, and all that is being able to basically take the discovery of something that somebody wants to book and carry it across the entire booking pipeline, all the way to handoff to the chef.
Yeah.
And that's what we've created in the background, and that's for what I call cart to table. What I'm describing to you is just one aspect. It's so robust, and it's so many things in the background that basically makes it beneficial to the consumer. And how is it beneficial to the consumer? It's not just searching a recipe and being able to book it, but it's also household rhythms. We have what we call a freedom dashboard. It's the first of its kind. In the freedom dashboard, you have 4 pillars that are scored and graded: time freedom, financial freedom, household control, and wellness. And all of those, this is the first app that literally takes data and gives it back to the consumer for lifestyle improvement. It shows you where you are, what you need more of, and I'm doing them an even bigger favor. The more they do, the more freedom rewards they earn. So the app is paying them to continuously do what really they're already doing or having a problem in doing. It really improves how you go about doing things. And laundry and organizing are the parts that are not live yet. It's just cart to table right now, but it is extremely powerful.
That's great. Do you think we're moving toward a future where the household itself becomes an intelligent, autonomous system?
Now you're talking the future. So household intelligence. Here's what I envision. I don't want to say too much, but my vision is that you'll be able to book a chef through voice orchestration. We're having a conversation now, and a lot of people do not like cognitive load.
Yeah.
They just want to be able to do things. You know what I mean? Yeah. And how cool would it be, or how beneficial would it be for you to say, hey, Penny, I need a chef at 6:30 on this particular day and time. And then she'll respond and say, I have three chefs lined up, their names and their expertise, very brief. And you can book a chef just like that because you're a member inside of PantriApp.
Wow, that's great.
That's what I see.
What are you anticipating? How much would it cost to get a chef to book one like that?
Oh, wow. So chefs, before PantriApp, chefs would charge for a lot of different things. They charge you for gas because they're going to do shopping. They charge you their base fee. And by the time they're done charging you, it doesn't even make sense to have a chef in your home because it's somewhere around $400 to $500.
Wow, that's who's going to be buying that? You're not going to have a middle class family that's got 2 kids, right?
Not inside PantriApp. That's before PantriApp. And I did my research, and that's what I used to be a personal chef. And I'll be honest with you, I go and feed 10 people, and these people were really willing to pay me $800 just to come in there and cook.
Now, but was it good? Good.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
What were you cooking?
I mean, one of my specialties has always been jerk chicken, rasta pasta, jambalayas, things like that. Yeah, those flavors are bold and memorable. People don't forget that spice that chases them for the next bite. You know.
Say either.
Yeah. So
you got the gift that keeps on giving when you're giving that jambalaya like that. When you put a little bit too much Cajun spice.
That's right.
How about crawdads? Did you do those too?
No. So no, I didn't do that. We just used the crawfish tails. We just focused on flavor. You know, giving people exactly what they wanted. I would take people all the way to New Orleans, and they didn't have to be there. They got something above New Orleans because I always had a culinary spin on everything that I did.
That's great. You would have like 10 people. You get $800 for doing it. How long would it take you to do
it? There's a lot of prep involved for a dish like that, but typically a good chef takes them about 2.5, 3 hours to produce a really quality meal.
That's not
No, it's not bad at all. And just to let you know, the minimum price a person would pay for 2 to 4 people inside PantriApp is $125 for a chef.
Why is it so cheap?
Well, the next question would be, why does it cost too much?
Well, I don't know. So $25 if you got to come in your house. That's not bad.
Because here's the thing. It's not about it being cheap because chefs work by the hour. And when you look at what a chef can make in 2.5 hours, and then the next session, another 2.5 hours, well, that's $250 that this chef has made in an evening. You know, I like to look at this app as volume. When I was working in my own cloud kitchen, working in my own food truck and all of that, I realized something. It's not how much it's not how much they're paying, it's how many customers are coming in to get it. You know what I mean? And so that once you reach that volume, the game over.
Because what about the food truck? Were you selling soul food on the food truck, or what kind of food?
Yeah, Cajun and Creole, Southwest and Caribbean.
There you go.
Yep.
Great, man.
Yeah, it's a great pair, and it was a thriving food truck concept. It wasn't just a food truck; it was a catering and food truck concept.
So maybe you be the own person behind this. They're booking the stuff, and they come to you. You got the whole ecosystem.
You know what? Let me run this by you, Gary. My nephew was like, "Uncle, you created all this." He said, "Man, you literally gave yourself a job. You can just go inside the app." He said, "You can go inside the app."
I'm going to call you Mr. Uncle from now on.
Yeah, and we've been talking about that, Gary. We've been talking about that. It's not far away from me to be able to do that. But what I'm focused on is basically customer acquisition and provider acquisition. Yeah, that's what we're working on right now. It's looking really great. Things are happening in its own time. You can't make things happen the way you want, but the way things are happening right now, the app is moving very, very. We're talking about 7 to 8 pages per user viewing inside of PantriApp. Right. Very, very, very low bounce rate. So we know that it's going to explode. We know this. And my wife is like, "You need to be inside the app." I said, "Well, I will. And I will start there. But I have a feeling."
I see your smile a little bit. You're ready. You know what's going to happen next.
Exactly what's going to happen next. and it takes a leader to lead the way. And that's what the military taught me. Lead by example. If you're going to have somebody to clean the wall, if you say clean that wall, if you have expectations and standards, then when they finish cleaning that wall, it might not meet your expectations and standards. So you need to show them how to clean the wall. Lead by example. And you earn respect like that. When you roll your sleeves up with everybody else and they say, "Man, he doesn't even have to do this, but he's here with us."
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the kind of leader I've been for many years. And I've earned a lot of respect for that. I don't think that I would do it any different here inside PantriApp.
No, I think it's great. I think Mr. Uncle's soul food is another good thing,
Exactly.
So, you haven't raised money yet, but it's really important because if you're going to take this out and really turn it into something other than a lifestyle business, it'll be important for you to go out and raise money. Are we approaching a world where AI coordinates groceries, meals, scheduling, finances, maintenance, wellness, and consumption automatically? Where do you see PantriApp going?
So PantriApp is really focused on deterministic infrastructure. When you compare the type of AI that I'm using, I would have to say that it's a combination of an old deterministic infrastructure that has only been used in the medical, financial, and aviation industry. It's never been used in consumer technology. So just to use deterministic infrastructure alone is great, but AI is in the front. So I'm using deterministic AI infrastructure. So we separate the thinking of how booking is done and how people discover things. This is extremely powerful when you can use them interactively together to satisfy the consumer even when they don't even know it. They might not, they feel it, but then it becomes an expectation. Like, man, I was able to do this really fast, or I was able to, I didn't have to do any math. I didn't have to figure out, I didn't have to put things in my cart, inside my grocery cart, and then have to add it all up or figure out how many people I'm feeding. We have an automated grocery list that is already done by the time it hits Instacart. And Panny, just like your AI, Panny has app continuity. She's talking while you're inside Instacart, and she's explaining to you. So it's really a huge discovery. What I've done inside of this app, and all I can say is that I spent many nights, many days of a lot of aha moments and milestones. Like, I started to believe that, man, I could do anything. Like, I started feeling like Superman, because I could do this, I could do that. There's nothing I can't do. And then I started thinking about, maybe this is why nobody can do things, because they have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm doing this by myself. I can comfortably design my architecture the way I want. If I want it to work a specific way, I don't have to go and talk to a developer that's going to charge me an extra 1,000 hours to make that happen.
Yeah. So one of the hidden themes here is a decision exhaustion. How serious is this problem in modern society? What do you think? Do you think we're sick? Like you said, your wife, between the two of you, who's going to cook dinner, right? Do you think we're sick of having to make decisions like that?
Yeah, definitely. It's by nature, we're adapted to responsibility. We're taught that as children. You grow up with the responsibility, but when you become a full-fledged adult with a busy lifestyle, it bothers people to not be able to keep up. So when meals are behind and laundry is behind, guess what else happens? Your organization is behind.
Yeah.
So now your whole house is what I call household pain. What we do is we take household pain and turn it into household execution, because we give you more control. And if you don't have control, I'm not going to say your life is in shambles, but anybody that understands how your home makes you feel, I can tell you this 100%, that you feel better when your house is clean.
Yeah.
You feel better when meals are on the table. You feel better when the dishes are washed. You feel better when your clothes are all folded and hung up.
Well, you got this clothes folding thing. That's like a big topic for you. You know what I mean? Where are we going with the clothes folding thing?
I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you.
I think you need a bathroom right now and show us what you got.
Look here. My wife told me, she says, we're gonna go ahead and make a budget for the laundry. We're gonna do that. And that's the next rollout.
Does the budget mean you're paying somebody to do it, or you're going? What do you do?
We're gonna use the PantriApp.
And so, how much you gonna pay for somebody to do your laundry?
Well, here's the deal.
How do you come up
here
with
in Houston?
Because you don't know. It could be dynamic pricing, right?
Well, we do know. We focus on market pricing, not individualized pricing. As long as laundry providers can be within a certain range, then we're accepting of that. Because we don't want customers to feel like they're breaking the bank. Look,
now, do they come into your house and do it, or do you take it somewhere?
No, it's pick up and delivery. And so the way it works is right now we're using Uber Direct. Uber Direct picks it up. This is a reliable courier that can pick up laundry and drop it off.
Oh, that's
okay.
Right.
Yeah. And laundry partners we already have like people in 10 zip codes. I got one person with 4 locations, that really wants this to hurry up and take off. He really loves the concept. So, the product validation, the product market fit. My daughter says, Dad, I love everything, but I'm waiting on the laundry. I said, wow, man, look at this network effect.
Wait, how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 33.
Okay, well, 33. She's doing her own deal. I thought she was like 13 or something like that.
Oh no. But who knows? You got I don't know if a 13-year-old can pay for their own laundry, but I just have a feeling that there's a lot of people of all age groups that have a pain point with household chores. Mm-hmm. I really, it's evidence based. I've already done the research. It's already there. I would have never created a business like this around hype or around my personal beliefs. It's really happening in the world.
I think you like the Mr. Uncle's thing. I think you like that, man. Soul food, I'm telling you. You got the deal.
Yes, sir.
We're going to say Mr. Uncle's laundry service, Mr. Uncle's soul kitchen.
And you know what? And it's also important. It's also important for people to know that PantriApp does not provide a service. Mm-hmm. We don't provide a service. We provide the intelligence tools that puts you in front of those services quicker, faster, more intelligently, being matched to the right laundromat or being matched to the right home organizer and chef and all of that. We do it in a different way. This is not another thumbtack. You know what I mean? It's not another thumbtack. It's none of that. We use intelligence and predictive models in order to connect you to the right people. And when we actually acquire these providers, we have a vetting process that they must go through. And we make sure that all of our providers are 5-star, 4-star, whatever it is that people are looking for. You don't have to look anymore. It's all inside PantriApp.
No, that's great. Listen, Marcus, we're coming up to the top of the show. If you want to stay on afterwards, we can talk for a few minutes. So closing thoughts and how do people get a hold of you?
So people can get a hold of me at marcus.flakes at pantry, PANTRI-app.com. Or they can simply go to PantriApp.io, visit there, and reach us through the contact details.
No, that's great. Well, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Thanks to all of you for joining us one more time. GSD Presents Top Global Startup. Thanks to all of you. We're over 100 shows and millions of views. Check us out on Amazon, Apple, Spotify. We're out there. We're here for you. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you.